So Margretta, so excited to speak to you. So I wanted to start off with, you were a breast cancer survivor and that had some pretty negative impacts on your lifestyle and your health. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, that was about almost 9 years ago now. And with no symptoms, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And thankfully, I was older, so it was slower, they told me, slower growing. And I had a partial mastectomy on my left side. And then began the treatments that they give, chemotherapy, which was really bad for taste buds, and radiation therapy after that. And everything has been clear for, about 7 years. Every year the tests are clear.
That's
And
wonderful.
the difficulty was just simply the medication. There's a medication because my breast cancer was estrogen driven. So the drug I have takes away my estrogen. And it bothered my system for quite a while. I can't quite explain it because I didn't complain to my doctor, but I felt like I was drying up and I was already overweight, and uh, it hurt to exercise. It physically just hurt to run. I mean, I could walk anywhere, but I couldn't walk at a fast pace. But the breast cancer was the wake up call because I got through it. And I realized I need to do some things differently.
And so you said that as well, that the breast cancer experience also led to you being more sedentary.
Yes.
And can you share some of the health implications that had?
Well, it was lifestyle too, because I'm a teacher and I teach instrumental music, and you're static a lot because you're looking at the student. And so I was already recovering from this surgery. So I tended to be, sitting down or just limiting my locomotion, and I felt like I was always having to heal. I just wanted to sleep and go to work and come home and sleep and cook dinner and sleep. And I have other health issues too that were driving that sedentariness, though. I had high blood pressure already. As Jennifer mentioned, I had my high blood pressure since I was in my 40s. 3 medications, and then the breast cancer was the next big thing. So I was pretty good at giving in to my body's weaknesses. It's just okay.
What about your blood sugars and weight at that time? Or
At the time of the breast cancer, I was already overweight. I was not as overweight as I was when I met your program, but I needed to lose weight. I was probably 190 pounds, and I'm 5'5".
What was your highest weight?
When I started the program, 276 pounds.
Wow.
But that November before I met this program, I was 276. And that's when I said, no, we're going to stop this.
Yep. We're going to make a change. And what were your blood sugars then?
I was pre-diabetic. So probably my A1C was, I want to say 7. I cannot remember without looking it up, but it was high, but still pre-diabetic.
Yeah. And how are you feeling emotionally at this time, having gained a lot of weight, feeling very sedentary?
Well, I just felt like I was dying because I had breast cancer and got through that. And I thought, well, what's going to come next? Because I couldn't fix myself. I never dieted. So I couldn't fix myself because we've said, other people have said, we thought we were eating healthy. I just thought I was an unlucky one to become sick. And even when the years ago, when the blood pressure diagnosis came, the doctor never said, change what you eat. He said, take these pills.
Yeah.
And I didn't read back then. That was before a lot of good reading and available programs like what you have. So I was just using my own resources mentally and read a book every now and then about it. But I was really feeling like, okay, this is how I'm going to go. I'm going to get sick and I'm going to be heavy and I'm not going to be able to move. And yet I always had a smile. Nobody ever knew I felt like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot to carry
yeah,
inside.
it is. And
Yeah.
that makes you sicker too. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And then I read that you tried to cut back on eating and tried to exercise. What are some of the things you tried?
the cutting back on eating was probably a ruse to myself, but what I mean by that is I just tried to eat less food that I was fixing, but it was the same bad food. I would
Mm-hmm.
eat cookies and, pancakes for breakfast. And,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a
Mm-hmm.
heavy drinker, but I would drink, a sweet wine as opposed to maybe one that would be healthier and so on and so forth. And mashed potatoes were a favorite, macaroni and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
I ate more meat then than I do now. I hardly eat much meat now unless it's sprinkled in a salad or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And but I don't call my attempts at losing weight dieting. They were haphazard,
Yep.
ill thought. I didn't have, and to be an educator and not to have educated myself about eating is just
Well, you
embarrassing.
did now.
Yeah, I did now. Yeah, thank you to
So
you.
what happened? So you found the program, and what made you think this was something you'd like to try?
I just think it was providence that day because I don't normally watch programs like that on my computer. I'm usually teaching, and so I kept watching it and kept watching it, and it was because of you,
Oh.
because the way you delivered the information wasn't condescending. It was
Mm.
hopeful. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, there's so much condescending stuff out there that just makes me cringe. And I
yes,
think it's because I've lived the struggle. It's not because we're lazy or stupid or greedy. It's just we're stuck in this situation because we've been told the wrong information all our life and then exposed to all the junk food. And it's just a fire of, yeah.
yeah.
And so, all right, so you gave it a shot, and then tell me what you changed.
I changed how I look at food in terms of what is pleasing. And I learned from your teaching and the other recipes that come in your course that it's how we treat the food. It's not the food. It's not the potato in mashed form with butter and milk. It's the roasted potato or, so that kind
Mm,
of thing. And that
mm,
just learning that there's a way to treat food so that it treats me better when I ingest it. And
mhm.
um, it's been a real godsend. I'm not even quite saying it right, but even down to how I set up my refrigerator, um, I check through it before I go shopping. I go, what's missing, or what do I have too much of? And if I have too much of a thing that's whole food, like a vegetable, I don't go to the grocery store till I've used it,
Yeah,
even if I
yeah,
don't like it.
yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
There's a couple there I just can't do too often, but most of the fresh foods I really enjoy. So that's been my method, and it seems to be working. I'm not throwing away food. I have not thrown away fresh food in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So one nugget right there I want to highlight for everyone is what Margretta is saying is under the homemade method, it's not that we say don't eat carbs, they're off limits, or count the calories or count the points, or don't ever have mashed potato again, but we show you different ways to prepare it. So we say, okay, if you want to have a potato, can you roast it with the skin on, because the skin's got more of the fiber in it, and the fiber will help prevent the blood sugar spikes. And you can add olive oil instead of just butter and cream, which is actually better for heart health and better for cholesterol and anti-inflammatory. And then why don't you eat that with a big, delicious, abundant salad
Yeah.
and some protein, and then it'll balance your blood sugars. So you can eat the foods you love, but we show you different ways to prepare it so you can get the results. And that's why the ladies who aren't getting the results in the program, I'm like, cook the recipes. That's the answer. You have to start there. And once you've got the foundation, you can deviate and experiment all you like. Once you've got it, you know what it looks like when you're doing it, then you can modify and substitute all you like. So that was great. And then, you said, for example, breakfast before might have been pancakes, or you might have been snacking on cookies. What do you eat now? You know, what was for breakfast today?
Oh, I'm smoothie every morning. And my husband drinks two, I drink one, but it's okay, you know, he's 6'5". So it's enough. I mean, I'm usually full till if I eat at around 7:30, and then I do some work, and then I don't get lunchy, you know, that little pre-lunch hunger till about 10:30, and then I'll have like a half a banana and dip it in pine nuts or something and nibble that with the TV off, nothing going, just me eating.
Actually, one of the posts you shared that I loved was about how, as a music teacher, you teach your students to listen. And one of the big nuggets you shared as well, how you got your results, was you really resonated with this idea of listening to your body. And that really changed your relationship with food and changed the way you eat and cook and prepare your food and the way you eat it. Can you share a little bit about that?
Well, it might have been too this thing in my head about practice makes habits, and I practiced bad habits before, and I say to my music students, practice makes habits. It doesn't make you perfect. It gives you habits. So with my eating, I started practicing what you were saying, and I even would, don't laugh, but I would set a timer when I started eating even a snack, and I would set it for as soon as I put the food in my mouth and swallowed it. I set the timer for like 5 minutes, 5 seconds, or 10 seconds. And then when it went off, I would take another bite. And then I would set the timer. I just had
Slow
to
you down.
Yeah, I had to understand
That's amazing.
what you meant when you said, you know, don't inhale your food. That was huge for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many of and Dia, thank you so much for waiting so patiently. I'll get to you in about 2 minutes. But just that's an important point, because I think as women, when we're stuck in this dieting world where we're not eating anything, and then we are, or we're just living and we don't have that connection with our food. One of the things when ladies say to me, oh, all I need to do is just think about a piece of bread and I gain weight. You know that saying that a lot of women say? In my head, I always go, yeah. But what I really think is you're just eating a lot of food that you're not even aware of, because you're doing it mindlessly. You're inhaling it, or you're grazing, or you're in denial about it. Generally, that's what that means, that they don't even realize how much they're eating. And I say that because that used to be me. And I know when I'm in that mode. And it's easy even today, even after living this for 10 years, I can still slip into that mode where I'll go, whoa, in the last 48 hours, I have just been in that mode of kind of a little thing in your mouth here and a little thing in your mouth there, and you're never even having a proper meal, but it adds up to a lot of calories. And that's how you can gain easily 20 pounds in 7 years, or 20 pounds in 7 months without even feeling like you ate that much. So that slowing down and listening to your body and being mindful is a huge part of it. And then you enjoy your food more. You actually eat things you enjoy. You actually, if you do have a bowl of chips, you can really sit down and mindfully enjoy them and go, this is great, you know? So that's beautiful. So can you tell us your results?
Oh, so the last time I was weighed, before I wrote it down, it was, I had lost about 38 pounds at that time. So I was down to like I actually have to look it up. I was down to about 238 pounds. And then I've now gotten down to 220 since that time. And I swear to you, I'm never hungry. I'm never hungry.
That's amazing. You look amazing.
Oh, thank you. That shows you how bad it was.
56 pounds.
And
Wow.
and my doctor, last Monday, we danced in the office.
Oh,
she was so happy.
So good. Oh, I want to dance now.
Yeah, they were all like, the technicians were all, look at her blood sugar, you know.
Wow.
So funny.
So tell us about your blood sugars.
Oh, I'm really not pre-diabetic anymore, but we're waiting, you know what I mean? She's being cautious because it's come about. And my blood pressure is like 110. I have to look it up because I can't even remember the number. 110/77.
That's the normal ranges.
I don't remember those.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Well, that is so fantastic. And did you come off any medications?
we're right in the decision because this was just last week. So we did a few more tests. We're checking, and I think she will give me freedom.
Yes. And what about your asthma meds?
Oh, I
Your
don't
asthma,
take them. I don't take them anymore. And she blessed
come
it.
off
She
your
said,
asthma meds.
yeah, she said, okay.
Amazing.
And I don't snore as loud anymore. I think I breathe loud, but I don't snore.
That's amazing. Well, thank you, Greta, for
Thank you.
sharing your incredible story.